Hello everyone, my name is Lauren and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to ask you the most important question you're gonna get in your 40K journey. Let's go. Now hold on, before we start, I would just like to ask you to take the time to like and subscribe. I'm a small channel and it would really mean the world if you could subscribe. Now, let's get back into it. Now, what is this burning question that I'm just dying to ask you? Should you play knights in Warhammer 40,000? And the answer? Yes, absolutely you should play knights. This is a very important faction to me. Very important faction to me. My very first model was a Questoris Knight. Now, I'll let the image on the screen. There you go. This was the first model I ever purchased, and I don't regret it at all. Knights have been so incredibly fun that I can't see myself starting with a different faction. Except for I did start with a different faction. And that other faction is Sisters of Battle. I'll let that one play for you. I bought this kit probably about 5 days before I bought the Combat Patrol for Sisters of Battle. And the way that I am commemorating Sisters of Battle is with this kit bash right here. I'll let the clip play for you. This right here, which I have affectionately named Gravecrawler, this is the best project that I've worked on. I played Demons, I played Death Guard, which, editing Warren, throw up a picture of Typhus. Now throw up a picture of Mortarion. Now throw up a picture of Typhus and Mortarion, but they're best friends. All right, perfect. Projects like this are one of the reasons why Knights are probably the most fun faction to play. Not only do you get the whole big stompy robot part, but the options for kit bashing I feel just go through the roof with Imperial Knights. You might not be able to steal a Space Marine arm so you can get a specific combat knife, but you know what you can do? You can take bits from all these other kits, like I have a cherub right here, that's supposed to be a token. These two banners right here, these are supposed to go on Zephyrim. These are just two Celestian Sacristants that I had lying around because I turned some of the other ones into jump pack canonesses. The options are just limitless for what you can do with an Imperial Knight. Can you just have a boring plain Jane Imperial Knight? Absolutely you can. Should you? If the amount of work you want to put into your model and call it done is this right here, more power to you. It's your model, you should be the one that gets to decide when it's done and if you're having fun with it. I think that that is absolutely something you should be allowed to do. Do you want to get to a point where you're adding bases, you're adding extra parts? If you want to get to that point, 100% absolutely go for it. This is your hobby, make it yours. This is your model, make it stand out from somebody else's. Now, we've talked about kit bashing. Why else should you play Knights? They are so fun to play in the game. So, I will give you an example of what your army might consist of. So this is the list that I currently run. We have an Errant Canis Rex, 3 Helverins, and 5 Warglaves. Now, if you are new to Imperial Knights, a Helverin will have the 2 turret gun arms, and the Warglaive has the chainsword and the Melta. Now both the Helverin and the Warglaive can have the same options for the top guns. You have the Questoris Heavy Stubber and you have the Melta gun. Now there is a third armiger and it's called the Moirax. I've never looked into the Moirax at all. I don't think it's been good since I've played Warhammer, and I don't really want to spend, I think it's $100 on one armiger when I could spend $90 on 2. So it is what it is. If you think that the Moirax looks cool and you really like the way it plays, go for it. Again, you don't have to play meta lists. This isn't a meta list, this is just the list that I like playing. This is the list that I currently play because this is the list that I have the most fun with. Would I like having more big knights? Probably, but I do really enjoy the look of armigers. Every single one of these is going to have the same toughness and wounds as a Predator tank, for instance. I think the Predator might have 1 less wound, don't quote me on that. They currently have 10 toughness and 12 wounds, but they move 12 inches, which is very fast. That's as fast as transports or as most flying units, bikes, stuff like that. So having your battle line units move that fast, not to mention having the kind of firepower that they do, it feels really good on the tabletop. Do you have to be careful about making sure that you have proper melee to ranged allocations? Yeah, that's pretty important. Right now, you're gonna get most of your value out of running Canis Rex, Armiger spam, and running some Imperial agents. If we were to look at meta Knights lists, this is a little bit what it would look like. This isn't pulling from any one list. I just looked at a bunch of top performing meta lists right now and put this together. We have Canis Rex, 4 Helvrins, 4 Warglaves, 1 Sisters of Battle Squad, 2 Immolators, and a Calidus Assassin. Why is this list meta? Well, first things first, the more armigers you have on the battlefield, it's gonna be better. If you have one target that has 22 wounds and you have them sitting right here, your enemy has 2 tanks. They're both going to shoot at the one model with 22 wounds. But for the same price, you can take 3 models that have 12 wounds apiece, you spread them all out. Now those 2 tanks have to pick their targets. So you can get a lot more done with more models. Now the Immolators provide a very special benefit. They strip benefit of cover after they have shot an enemy unit. Now, if you're new to Warhammer, you're probably thinking, what does that mean? I don't know how to explain that to somebody that doesn't play Warhammer. All I can tell you is that they are very strong. They're also pretty hard to come by, if I recall correctly. One of these I bought secondhand, and the other I got very lucky and found at a local game store. Now let's say you wanted to play a shooting phase heavy list. This right here is what I would do. You have your Castellan, the Crusader, 3 Helvrins, and 3 Warglaves. For our allies, we have a Sisters of Battle Squad and an Immolator. Now you've seen me talk quite a bit about Sisters in this episode, and I thought that I should probably clarify some things. The reason why you would run Sisters of Battle in a Knight's army is for 2 reasons. One, they have sticky objectives. When they stay on an objective marker at the start of the command phase, if they control it, that objective marker now remains under your control until your opponent takes it away from you. The other reason that they're good is because they allow you to bring the Rhino. The Immolator can only transport 6 models, and a Battle Sister squad comes in a minimum squad size of 10. So you declare that the Sisters of Battle squad will embark within the Rhino. Now what that does is it splits that unit in half. So now instead of having 1 unit of 10, you essentially have 2 units of 5. So you put the 1 unit of 5 on your home objective, and you put the other unit of 5 inside the Immolator, and you deploy that, and you send them at an objective that hopefully won't have too much pressure on it. Now, like I stated before, the Immolator strips benefit of cover. If you know, you know. Now, if you want to run a melee heavy list, then I would just recommend using that list that I showed at the very beginning. Could it be better? Absolutely. Is the Lancer a top tier choice for a melee list? 100%. This thing is busted. Mine is literally busted. As a part of his arm fell off. Still waiting on my tech priest to arrive to fix him up. I'll update you on when that happens. So now you've seen that Knights come in multiple different archetypes, whereas some armies, they either go all into melee, all into shooting. Knights, you can have the best of both worlds. And honestly, you're not gonna see that big of a difference in performance. Are there bad lists? Absolutely. If you want to see what it's like to have a bad time with Knights, run 4 big Knights and you might have room for 1 Armiger. It's not fun at all. You might think that having more of the big robots is gonna be better, but unfortunately that just means you have less and less places to be targeted, which equals more shots going into 1 target at a time. Whereas if you have 1 big Knight and 11 Armigers, that is 12 things that can be shot at. Or 4 big Knights, and now you have 4 targets that can be shot at. You get it. Now, I asked you the question, should you play Knights? The answer to that question is always going to be yes. I assume that if you're on my channel and you're already subscribed, if you are, thank you, that you might already play knights. Or if you're just finding this channel for the first time and you're maybe considering getting into Warhammer 40,000, I would definitely recommend playing this army. It's not the easiest thing to play against other people with this army, especially if they're new. And I would like to clarify, if you're playing against new players and you're running knights, you're probably going to win. Most of the time, new players are going to have that one thing that they're very attached to, and that's what they're going to be playing in the beginning. If they're lucky, that thing is going to be Deathwing Knights, which are the bane of my existence, by the way. Yes, you should play knights. Thank you everybody so much for watching. My name has been Lauren, and you have a good day.